because and even Ravens, you can say more than tandem backs, but like, lately they've been using Dobbins and Edwards a lot. And, they had over 230 yards rushing, I think, again last night. Obviously with Lamar having over 100, but like both those teams just control on the ground. And by that, they have play action and like they have these wide open pass plays based on them being able to establish a run.
So can we all agree that the Ravens are on the uptick and then there's the Steelers going the wrong direction? Would you agree at this point in the season?
Well, the Steelers at this point can't run the ball. Think about it. Did you ever think anybody would be saying that Steelers can't run the ball? They just haven't been able to. So it's been on Ben, throw the ball, and they've got good receivers, but you just can't do that. You got to have something to keep the linebackers honest.
I think the strength of the team is their wide receivers, so I understand why they want to be more pass heavy.
Yep.
And I'm not going to absolve Big Ben from it because I feel on some level, and I feel obviously because of his clout, Ben is essentially the offensive coordinator, and I'm sure there's a lot of run plays that are called that he checks out of. And I think he's even admitted to this recently because they only ran 17 times. And if you look at the score, that score was never really out of reach that they needed to panic and throw 37 times, which they did last night, and they only ran 17. And then the big critical play where Tavon Johnson jumped a pass to Juju for pick 6. I think they throw the ball so much, everyone knows the route combinations. They know based on like how these receivers are situated on down and distance, probably what they're going to run. So he just jumped the route.
Yeah. Well, you got to have some variety. Like I say, you got to keep those guys honest because let's be honest here. NFL, all of those guys are really smart and they are fast and they see it twice and they know what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And again, look, is James Conner a special running back? No. Is Jalen Samuels a special running back? No. Is Benny Snell a special running back? No. But again, they're professionals. They can give you solid things, and sometimes it takes wearing down the defense or just keeping them honest so you can do play action off of it. That's the thing is they're always in shotgun. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, going back to Chicago, I mean, we didn't really talk about the game. Chicago's offense has looked better. I mean, one, they've played worse defenses, but David Montgomery's been night and day because David Montgomery purely works better when he's not grabbing the ball out of a shotgun. He needs to be behind the running back, the quarterback, and get some steam rolling.
Yeah.
And I think probably Snell and James Conner, all those guys could use it, but like Ben's more comfortable in the shotgun.
Hey, my man, the Red Rifle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He looked good. Of course, they're playing the Bengals, who they were starting the guy from the Dr. Pepper commercials.
that little bitty guy.
Yeah. So, but I was happy to see the Red Rifle get a little justification, I guess, for
Bengals.
What was going on.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to say this. The Packers, man, are playing really well. I think, boys, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
I think they are. I don't even want to say it, but I think they are.
Nah, they can't beat Kansas City.
I don't think they will.
Kansas City looks flaky now and then. You know they do.
This is true. They
inconsistent.
Inconsistent. I mean, seriously, they're not inconsistent. They just kind of like, okay, we're going to play around for 3 quarters and let you do some stuff. And then all of a sudden, and they just take you apart.
Maybe I meant to say incontinent. I maybe made a mistake there.
Enjoy the go.
To be fair, against the Dolphins, the first quarter was horrific for the Chiefs.
Right, that's what I mean.
The first pick was just, it seemed like it was a mistimed screen. The other pick was a ball that was too high. I mean, still it was an overthrown ball, which was too high for I want to say it was Tyreek, and it bounced off and it was caught. But I don't know if you all saw the highlight of Patrick Mahomes' sack. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He started to scramble, and then like you get pressure. He ran like he was sacked 25 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on here? But to be fair, kind of to Luggs' point, they have so much speed. I mean, Tyreek Hill had a 32-yard end around for touchdown. He caught for 79 yards. And then McCole Hartman, who was drafted to probably replace Tyreek Hill if they didn't give him a long-term contract, he had a punt return. And all of a sudden, it went from like being down 10 to being 21-10. It was just an instant. So, and obviously a lot of their money is invested on the defensive side. I mean, the offensive side. But the three guys they did pay on defense against Miami showed up. Tyrann Mathieu had an interception. Chris Jones had a sack and safety, and Frank Clark had a sack. So they have just enough pieces on defense to be middle of the pack or solid. And with that offense, that is like I kind of agree with those. I still think is up and down as they are, they're still the favorite. Because when I look at Packers, as great as Aaron Rodgers is, and he probably does deserve to be the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I look at their defense. Their defense is still super suspect.
Packers.
Not even,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Packers defense is even decent. So
their defensive backfield can't stay with any
except
of
for
those.
Jair Alexander. That's about it.
Yep, only local guy. Yeah, Jair's pretty much the only one I believe.
But this extra wild card team, I'm excited about this year too. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you go.
Well, it's exciting. I think you look at Buffalo, you look at Cleveland, you look at these teams that nobody was planning on being in the hunt, and they're all right there. In Miami, even. I mean, look at that. It's an exciting year, COVID or not. It's been fascinating to me.
The my favorite sort of factoid or whatever is that CBS is going to put the January 10th wild card game on Nickelodeon.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
You can get slimed? Is that why?
That's what they're saying. They're going to slime the players in the end zone. It's going to be on regular CBS and CBS Sports, but they're also putting it on Nickelodeon. They've got this. They're trying to get more kids involved in the NFL.
Roger Goodell magic.
You got to give it to them. But to watch a playoff game on Nickelodeon.
Hey, kids, come over here. What are we doing, Mr. Buzzer?
But speaking of wild cards again, I was going to say a game that was essentially almost on some level, maybe not an elimination, but the team that lost is now outside looking in. Huge win for the Colts against the Raiders.
Yeah.
A team that's looked good this year, but the one huge positive trend for them is this is like 3 weeks in a row where T.Y. looked left for dead for most of the season, has come to life these last 3 weeks. And if this is the T.Y. you're going to get going into January, mixed in with them finally focusing on Jonathan Taylor, giving his touches, him going for 150 yards rushing, and 2 rushing touchdowns, like they have that already built with the defense that for the most part has been legit all year. They are a dangerous team.
They're scary. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and when they bring in Carson Wentz next year, they'll be even better, right?
Agree. So, I agree. He's going there. Frank Reich.
Well, again, as damaged and awful as it is, it was funny listening to I want to say when I was listening to the commentators on the Saints Eagles game, they were pretty much saying they were essentially like making fun of Doug Peterson on some level and being like, Frank Reich made that offense go. And I think, like we've said it a few times, and I do feel bad for the Raiders. They want to pound the rock. But with Jacobs being injured for this last few weeks, like they just can't get on schedule for what they want to do, and that's what's killed them.
Well, and he got rid of the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Gunther. Yeah, Paul Gunther got fired. Yeah. But and another team, I just want to say who unfortunately might have got eliminated because of one guy who hopefully was not on the plane with that team. And I maybe J-Boy knows who I'm talking about. If I just give you the team, can you name the guy? Minnesota Vikings. Who shouldn't be on the plane?
Dan Bailey.
Yes. Dan Bailey. Right, the old cowboy.
Yeah.
How many points? He cost them 9 points, I think, at least.
10 points because he missed the extra point.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm saying he cost him 7 points. The 54-yarder was Zimmer just being so pissed with them, he wanted to embarrass him because he missed the extra point. He missed like a 33-yarder.
Two chippers. Yeah, 2 chippers.
Why you're trying to kick a 54-yarder after you missed those 2, I have no idea. Just punt it or go for it. just it's like he's not going to make a 54-yarder.
The Vikings are just snake bit, and I think they always will be. I don't know what it is.
They were this close. I mean, Dalvin Cook has been amazing all year. Had 100 yards rushing against a very tough rushing defense.
In fact, the first guy to have 100 against them, I think, this year.
Yes, yeah, and they just and to be fair, the Bucs offense for the most part, it was what it's been all year. It's good certain weeks.
It's good, okay. Good enough.
It's okay. Like they were carried mainly by the defensive pass rush. They got 6 sacks. Shaq Barrett's going to get huge money in this offseason.
And Sue looks like he's rejuvenated, doesn't he?
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing for them though is Ronald Jones. I don't know if he might be out this game because obviously he's having pins inserted in his fingers. I don't know if he'll be able to play through it or not. That's a huge loss for him because he was the best part of their offense on Sunday. He gave them 80 yards rushing, and I think with that defense they need that running attack to complement. Where as much as heralded as he was, Leonard Fournette, he was a health scratch because I don't know what you're getting from him.
And say what you will, but Brady threw the rock about 50 yards in the air.
Yeah.
But he can look. I'll give him credit. He hit on that Scotty Miller. That was an exceptional pass.
Yep.
But he airmailed one to Gronk that was probably going to be a touchdown or get him in red zone. He missed. I want to say Mike Evans on one. He overshot Godwin. So like his downfield throwing has been off most of the year, and that's I think. That's why, again, kind of like with even Green Bay, as talented as Buccaneers, I'm not saying either of them can't win the title. I don't feel comfortable with either of them because there's just elements of them that just don't seem right.
No, the Bucs will probably win one game in the playoffs, and that'll be it, depending on the draw and all of that.
But I mean, I guess to be fair to J-Boy's point, like when you look at the NFC, it's all like just a bunch of broken teams in certain capacity. I mean, probably the best team, and none of us are gonna, because I mean, I think we can all say probably the best team coming out of this week is probably the Rams.
Yeah,
with how well their defense played, obviously with how Cam Akers is playing at running back, but still, none of us are going to commit and be like Jared Goff. Yeah, he's going to win it. I think that's the big bugaboo with them.
But then you look at the teams that are a bust or that are failing: the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Vikings, all these guys. Even if they get in the playoffs, first of all, why would you want to? Because you're not going to win a game anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, yeah, it was great the Cardinals won and beat the Giants, and obviously that hurts the Giants' chances of winning. And obviously the Washington football team is now in the lead in the East, but it's probably better for the Giants because you're already going to be a mediocre team. It's better to draft high because if you make the playoffs, even though your record is so much worse than teams that didn't make the playoffs, you're still going to drop below them.
Knock down a peg or 3 or 4.
Yeah. But speaking of the NFC East, I do want to say one of the more bizarre games that was entertaining, and I'll eat crow on this one too, is Saints-Eagles. I've been hard on Taysom Hill, but Taysom Hill actually threw the ball fairly well. Like his passing was not the problem. He didn't really run the ball. It was actually weird. He was seeing himself a few weeks ago in Jalen Hurts, where Jalen Hurts, I mean, he was fine passing the ball, but I mean, he was mainly a runner. I mean, he had 18 rushing attempts, and they're going to be a hard out because with him and with the other running back, Miles Sanders, like they're going to be a tough out. But still, I don't think they can sustain doing that for a long period of time. But I will say the one thing about Taysom Hill that's weird is his throwing ability is legit. I don't think that's part. It's not like when people say he's like Tim Tebow. He's way beyond Tim Tebow. But I will say that he has no pocket awareness. Like there was at least 3 or 4 sacks where he didn't even see a person. He didn't feel like he felt anybody. So,
yeah. And the thing about New Orleans is, okay, you say Drew Brees gets the green light. What kind of shape is he going to be in? I mean, mentally, the man knows the game, but being able to move that ball and